Hi, I'm Joe from CPTEL. I'm going to tell you about fiber optic connections today and other connections that we provide at our business. Here at CPTEL, we are one of very few internet service providers that offer our customers fiber optic internet connection. That's because from a company's viewpoint, it costs more to get it here and run it to the customer than using existing lines that are currently running off of copper wire. But at CPTEL, we don't charge any extra whatsoever for our fiber customers. That's because it's all about getting the best service to our consumers. You may ask, how is fiber better than my current internet? How does it add up against other transport types? There's a plethora of reasons. But first, let me explain how it works. Generally, there are 4 to 5 different types of internet transport commonly used. You have satellite connection, dial-up connection, DSL, cable, and recently fiber optic connection. Satellite is generally considered the worst of the group. The data is usually very slow for the upload and download speeds. The signal comes from a satellite, obviously, one that's usually geostationary, and it goes to a dish at your house or location. Due to this setup, anytime you have a rainstorm come by, it's likely that you will lose your internet connection, and it also makes for a very unreliable and often expensive source of internet connection transport. Dial-up is a very old type of internet connection. Some people still have it today. It is considered common. It uses copper phone wires that run to houses to deliver an electrical signal over that copper line that translates into ones and zeros like all data. This method of transport only offers at maximum a 250 kilobits per second download speed, which is considerably slow. This method is considered extremely outdated by most modern internet service providers and is rarely used today. DSL stands for Digital Subscriber Line. It is often considered to be the most common type of internet in most cities and is generally provided by all internet service providers. The data here is also transferred over a copper phone line using electrical signals, but in this case the consumer gets significantly higher downloads and upload speeds, and because of this different method of transport over the phone line, it does not tie up the phone, and both phone and internet can be used at the same time. As with a dial-up connection, when someone calls, you can't use the internet and vice versa. Although considerably better than dial-up and satellite, it can get a lot of interference from weather and other sources like electricity, power surges, and the fact that the farther away you get from the source of the signal, the speed and the quality of service decays. So although common and considered fast, it's generally slower and more unreliable than fiber optics. Then we have cable internet, which travels through electrical signals in copper wiring like all other sources thus far. And it traditionally travels through what we call coax cable all the way to the consumer's house. This coax cable is also the same cable that provides television service to the consumer and is often slower than DSL. And you could also lose signal or have a slower signal based on the neighbors that will all be sharing the same broadband. Now we're going to move on to our newest, fastest, most efficient, most reliable type of internet source in the market today, which is fiber optic internet. Fiber optics use very thin pieces of glass coated with a plastic in its wiring to efficiently transport data in a revolutionary way, in the form of light. It does this by bouncing off the glass and the wire to relay data instead of the traditional electrical signals found in copper wiring. Fiber optic data travels at the speed of light. Because of this method, data is able to be transported over long distances, longer than other types of transport cables, and it does so with little to no speed or loss of the signal over very large spans, and it also does it at a faster speed. Because this cable is smaller in diameter and weighs less, it makes it an ideal fix for many situations and locations. And since the conductor is glass, it doesn't generate electricity. Fiber is immune to most sources of interference. This means that it can come in direct contact with high voltage electrical equipment, power lines, lightning, bad weather, rain, all while still delivering a superior high quality performance. Fiber optic connections also cost less to maintain once put in place, and as a result can oftentimes be the same price or even cheaper than your traditional coax cable types of connections with copper wire. So, you hear that? pay less, get more. It's great. The only downside to fiber is if you don't have it. So call your local internet provider and see about getting fiber today. Although most do not offer fiber, but CPTEL does. Our number is 238-9006. Again, that's 238-9006. Fiber is not always guaranteed to be available at your location, and CPTEL does not always offer it to all locations. So sign up now!